Good morning, everyone. This is Tim Wilmot speaking from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for this presentation to show you the capabilities of Workbooks CRM, what areas of your business it can address, and how my company, Wizard Systems, can help you with your CRM project there. Now, we run these short presentations every Friday, general public sessions focusing on different aspects of Workbooks and CRM. And today we're going to look more closely at creating sales quotations from workbooks. Now, this presentation will be approximately 30 minutes or so in duration. It's just a basic session. We realize everyone uses CRM in different ways. Everyone's got different requirements, and I wouldn't have enough time this morning to go over all of the capabilities of workbooks. So after this call, if you want to explore workbooks in more detail, we'd love to organize more of a one-to-one session. If we haven't done so already, a one-to-one session with you and your colleagues, and we can then ask you loads of questions about your specific needs and what you want out of a CRM system and take you through how you might use workbooks at your workplace. Now, also on the call today, and we've got about a dozen or so people on the call this morning. I can see from some of the names that some companies, some attendees are already trialing workbooks, so they've seen the system before, and some who I'm sure have never seen it at all. So excuse me if I'm going over old ground when I take you into the system. I've got to go at the speed of the slowest, so to speak. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. Your microphone is on mute. So don't worry about any background noises there. If you've got any questions, please, as you think of them, type them into the questions section on your meeting control panel, which you might see lurking in the top right corner of your screen, and I'll do my best to answer those at the end of our session. Now, this call is also being recorded. After the presentation, you'll get an automatic email from our system with a link to recording, and we'll most likely put it up on our YouTube channel as well. So let's get started. Just a brief mention about my company, Wizard Systems. We're an independent supplier, reseller of CRM systems. Workbooks is the most popular system we provide. And we've been doing this a long time. We've implemented well over 3,000 systems all over the UK and further afield in all types of businesses. We focus mainly on small and medium-sized businesses and smaller departments within larger enterprises. And with workbooks, as you may have gathered, it's a cloud system, so there's nothing to install. You don't need to worry about upgrades or backups. That's all done for you. And we have clients that do their own thing with workbooks. They set it up themselves. They teach themselves how to use it. There's lots of resources out there to assist you if you want to go down that route. But we're here on hand to help you any step of the way. We've got a range of services to make sure you get your system implemented quickly, on time, on budget. It's set up to your requirements. Everyone knows how to use it with our training. We can train you at your place. You can come to our place. We're based in Bristol. We can do training online if you don't want to travel. Or if the topic is of quite a brief nature, we can do online training and ongoing support as well. We've got a nice, friendly, responsive help desk here who are ready to answer any question you've got about workbooks. Now, what are you looking for from a CRM system? Everyone's got different requirements. Are you a startup company? You need something to help develop your business? Are you replacing an older legacy system? Are you wanting to improve your sales process, improve the way you're doing quotes, which is our focus today, improve customer service, improve marketing? Workbooks can do all of those things, and that's what we really try and strive to achieve in our initial contact with you. Try and get to the main reasons why you want to use the system, so that then we can build up a bit of an ROI on workbooks, and once it's implemented, begin to see and measure how much we've been able to achieve. So what is workbooks? Well, it's an affordable, central, easy to use system to manage your leads, your prospects and your customers, your interactions with those people. Everyone logs into it as a central system. You're improving teamwork, in the company and internal communications. There's marketing tools in there as well to improve on your, again, communications, external communications in a targeted way to your prospects and customers. Unusually for a CRM system, and not many systems can do this, we can do quotes, and there's an option. If you think about the business process of when the customer likes your quote and wants to place an order, we can then process the order in Workbooks, create an order, and do invoicing. That's a different edition. There are two different editions of Workbooks, CRM edition and business edition. So when you sign up for Workbooks proper, you've got the choice of two. All editions will go up to quote stage. If you want to then create orders, invoices, credit notes, record customer payments, you need business edition. You can mix and match over your users. You can mix and match these two editions. So if you were 5 users, for example, you could have one user on business doing all the financial stuff and everyone else doing the normal CRM things and quotes. I'll come on to pricing towards the end of those two different editions. Do you have a service capability in your company? Do you have engineers, technicians, a help desk, customer care department? Do you need to log complaints, problems? Well, you can do that in Workbooks as well. And as well as it being a great productivity tool, it's a management tool. So if there's any managers, directors, company owners on the line, this is a great tool to manage the business so that you can see what's working well, what isn't working well, help you make decisions about your business. Now, Workbooks is a UK system. All the data is in the UK. It's 100% cloud, as I've mentioned already. It's very, very secure. Workbooks has been certified in all of the 6 releases of the G-Cloud government certification program. Bit of a mouthful, but basically if you are central government or local government, you can't use a cloud application unless it meets those security levels, which Workbooks definitely does. Quite frankly, it's a level of security that most small and medium-sized business couldn't afford on their own. Very, very secure. It's very reliable. Last year, we had an uptime of 99.99%. It's always available whenever you want it. And it's very popular. Workbooks has won CRM Product of the Year in the UK the last 3 years running, 2013, 2014, 2015. Okay, just focusing on some of those aspects very briefly before we dive into the demo proper, and we'll go through an overview of the system and go through the quote capability. So with Workbooks, you have a ready-made database. Essentially, that's what it is, a database to manage all of your leads, prospects, and customers. It's very customizable. Shortly, when I show you the system, those screens that you see can be changed. You can take fields away. You can add fields to it. You don't need to be a programmer. It's very easy to do. It just takes a few seconds to customize it and make it work the way you want it to work. You can also deploy different security levels. So if you want to, of course, really with a CRM system, we're wanting to share information. The default is that everyone has got access to all the main features and they can see all the records, but there are options of hiding things or making things read-only or invisible to certain users if you wish. You're using Workbooks to manage your working day. It's your task list, it's your activity list. You come into the office in the morning, it is going to advise you the people you need to phone, the people you're meeting this week, the quotes you need to follow up, the other actions and tasks that you've got. You can delegate. You're working as a team, you're not working in a vacuum. You can delegate activities to team members and see what they're up to when they've done those certain actions there. So you're building up a wonderful, as time goes on, a wonderful client history of everything that's gone on against a customer, all the calls, meetings, and emails as well. We can integrate with any email system. We've got a very nice optional, this does cost a little bit extra, there's an optional integration with Outlook. So if you're using Outlook, we can integrate your Outlook emails. So as you send and receive your emails, they can be automatically copied into the client's history together with the attachments. Also with the Outlook integration, we can share your contact database and your activities and task list in a bi-directional way. So you can put a meeting into Outlook, it will appear in Workbooks automatically and vice versa, plus any changes as well. Now we work with any browser on an Apple. There's a mobile app included. You can access it from your tablet. So whatever device you've got, this is all included in your subscription. You've got access to Workbooks. Brief mention about marketing. Again, this is a focus of one of our other weekly presentations, how to use Workbooks as a powerful email marketing tool. As you're using a CRM system, you're beginning to build up a wonderful resource of information. You're able to profile and categorize your contacts. If you acquire a database of contacts, you've gone to an exhibition, you buy in a database, you can upload, you can import that information very easily into Workbooks. You can export any information as well. Any information you put into Workbooks, you can export freely. We can integrate to your websites. So if you've got an inquiry form on your Contact Us page, that can be linked. We actually can, if you don't have one already, we can actually create a form for you in Workbooks. Again, no programming required, but you might need to know a little bit about HTML to get the most out of the look and feel of that form, but fully integrated with Workbooks. So as somebody fills in their details on your website, they hit submit, that becomes a lead record automatically in Workbooks. And there's a bit of workflow in the system to then automatically notify you that you've got a new lead. So all leads will be logged. Leads will be acted on. Nothing will slip through the net with Workbooks. And you've got easy ways of creating lists before you're doing some kind of email marketing campaign to generate targeted messages to your contacts. We integrate a standard with 3 main mailing systems, MailChimp, Constant Contact, and .mailer. So basically with the integration with these, you create your list in Workbooks that is uploaded to, say, MailChimp. MailChimp will allow you to design a nice looking email. It will send out the email, and then with the integration, automatically back in Workbooks against a customer record, we can see the emails they were sent, the emails they opened, the bounce backs as well. You won't always get your database up to date. Typically 10–20% of emails may bounce back. You want to be able to see that. And also tracking unsubscribes as well, so that you're not going to, in the future, inadvertently mail someone that has unsubscribed. There's still a record, of course, though, in the CRM database. So essentially what we're here to discuss today is, as part of the sales process, creating your quotes. So how do you do quotes right now? Do you do them in an email? Are they verbal? Are they done in Excel? Are they done in your accounting system like Sage or QuickBooks? We're going to show you a better way of doing that, integrated to your CRM system. You can store your product and price list in Workbooks. Now you don't need to, when you create quotes, you don't need to be quoting from a standard price list. You can, if you have ad hoc products, if you have a quotation situation where every quote is going to be different from previous quotes, you can use Workbooks in that way also. You can define many quote layouts. So if you've got different quote situations, you can design these different layouts. They're stored in a PDF format. They can be customized with your logo as well. And as you do these quotes, they can update a thing called the opportunity. The opportunity is the sale, the overall project, the overall inquiry. It's another screen, another dimension to Workbooks to track all the details about your potential revenue, your pipeline from this sale. So those quotes can be updating that deal value for you. And then again, remember, if you've got business edition, thinking about the sales process, customer orders, you don't need to rekey the information. You can create the sales order from the quote, or you can jump straight to invoice stage if you want to as well. Nice way of doing that. Quick mention about customer service. If you've got any customer support people, help desk, then a great way of using Workbooks to log those issues. Again, it's a very customizable part of the system. You tell it what you want to know about these calls. You're building up a wonderful history of these calls, problems, resolutions, solutions. You're building up quite a nice knowledge base as you go through. Right, last slide before we dive into the demo proper. I'm putting your manager's hat on here. So we've got a great way of managing sales activity levels, leads, prospects, call rates, meetings we're doing. The opportunity management system, that's a key part of it too. As indeed most CRM systems, this is a key focus to track your revenue from that client, and all very customizable. We have a report writer in Workbooks. There's about 50 or so reports to get you started. You can create your own reports as well. And complementary to that are dashboards as well to give you, to summarize key metrics in your business. Okay, let's dive into the demonstration proper. So what I'm going to do here is just give you a brief overview of the interface. There is a trial of Workbooks, it's a free trial. No credit card required. You can play with it to your heart's content and put it through its paces. You can ask us loads of questions during that trial. So I'm going to run through the interface and then dive into quotes in a little bit more detail. So this is Workbooks. I'm running Workbooks in Chrome this morning. It will work with any browser. And I've just logged in. And what you see here is what's called the Workbooks desktop. And you'll recognize this. It looks like your Windows desktop, doesn't it? With your start button down in the bottom left-hand corner there. Just to the right of that, there's a Google-like search box. You can type in part of someone's name, part of an activity, part of a description of a quote, and it will find it for you. But from that start button and the start menu, here are all of the important elements of a proper CRM solution with, at the heart of Workbooks, access the people and companies that you deal with. We'll come into those just in a second. So people and companies. We're obviously tracking activities. We integrate with any email system. That's where you can see all your emails. That's where you see all your customer service issues. If you're into sales, you're a sales director or manager, you'll be living in this section where you manage your leads, your opportunities, your quotes, your forecasts. If you're a marketing person, this is where you manage your campaigns, your mailing lists, your price list. If you're a financial person, this is where you can see transactions. There's my report writer. Let's dive into organizations first of all. And what we see typically when we click on one of those main menus is we see here the organization's landing page. Basically, like Excel, summarizing row by row here all of the companies in my database. There they all are in alphabetical order, 11 pages of them. You can decide what columns you see here in this summary view. You can put people into groups. So if you quickly want to see your suppliers, all of your customers, live customers, your top 200 customers, all the customers being handled by salesperson Tony, you can easily create those little lists or views as they're called. Now, if I dive into a company record here, just explain the basics of the interface. So this is a company record. A new window has appeared. You'll see there's tabs running across the top there with a little number of the indication of the records below that tab. Initially we're on the main tab. This is the main information about this organization. And this is pretty much what Workbooks gives you. You started using Workbooks right now, this is what you get. But you can change all this. You can remove fields from here if they're not relevant. You can add new fields that are relevant to your business. You can actually have different company screens. If you've got different types of companies, you can have different types of screens there. Again, not many CRM systems can do that. You can search on any of this information. You can build reports on any of this information. You can do marketing campaigns on any of this information. So that's the main tab there. So running across the top, we've got these tabs. We can see more detailed information about this organization. So some basic notes here, or files, documents relating to the client. Activities, your phone calls, your meetings, your tasks, they're all there, row by row, with who's got to do them. When have they got to do them by? Let's just stretch out that little column there. When have they got to do them by? And you can see here, this is in red. It's overdue. A nice visual indication here of outstanding activities. You can create new ones from there. These activities will be synchronized with Outlook if you've got the Outlook integration. Emails, we can link with any email system. Emails we send or receive are here. And if you click on these, you'll see them exactly as they were in your email application. People, who works at this company? We've got 3 people here, Alan, Gracie, Kate, and we can dive into one of these records. Let's dive into Alan here. And this now, similar to the organization screen, this is the person. This is a people record. And initially we're on the main tab there. We can see all of the key information about this contact. Again, this can be customized by you. You can take fields away, add fields to it, but in a similar way to what we had with the company record, the organization record, we've got notes specific to Alan, activities that we've done just with Alan, there they all are there, emails, MailChimp if you're doing any MailChimp email marketing activity. Who does Alan work for? What opportunities are there on the go with Alan? There they all are there, and we can click on those and dive into the opportunity and see that in a bit more detail. All very customizable. Let's just close that window. Transactions, wherever you see transactions in workbooks, these are financial things, quotes, orders, invoices, contracts. Yeah, we've also got an optional contracts module. So in your business, do you have contracts with clients? That's another module that you can add on to workbooks to track these contracts. Cases, these are support issues, problems, and you can click on any of these to dive into those in more detail. What email marketing or other campaigns is Alan on? So there we are, a quick run through of an organization and a person's record. The way you navigate the sort of layout of the screens are identical in all other areas of workbooks. It's all very consistently laid out. Now, quotes. How do you do quotes? Well, you can actually create quotes from a number of different places. For example, one place, if I could go back to that transactions tab there, this is where we could create a new quotation straight away from here. So here we go, a new quote. This is we actually go through a little draft stage with workbooks. So this is where you put in the basic details of the quote. And when you're happy, you save it and becomes a quote proper. So we're here creating a new quote. So we give the quote a name, whatever it might be, something imaginative like that. We've got the quotation date filled out. Incidentally, wherever you see fields with a dark blue left-hand border, they're mandatory fields, they're required fields. We support multiple currencies as well as an option. So are you dealing in euros, other currencies? You can do that also. And who's the person that's raising this quote? Who is it going to go to? The client's details, all fairly standard, and all of that can be customized as well, by the way. So we've created this draft quote. We can now add on down the lower part of my screen here. We just scroll down the lower part of my quotation screen here. I can now add items to this quote. So these are being pulled from Workbook's own price list. You can import your price list into Workbooks. So here is a drop-down list in alphabetical order of all of my products and services, and we can select those at random there and add that to my quote to build up these items against the quote. And I'll just repeat the process to add other items. These columns, by the way, are not necessarily what the customer sees. And these columns can also be customized. So there's something specific that you want to track against a quote. These screens can all be changed. This is all pretty much standard workbooks here. Right, when we're happy with that quote, we can now save it into a quote proper. It's no longer a draft quote, it's a quote proper, and we can now generate the PDF, or what's more likely is that we send it via email from Workbooks. So in many places in Workbooks, you can send an email to your customer. There is an email template feature in Workbooks. You can create a number of different look and feels of different emails that you want to send out, common emails that you may want to send at the client. You don't need any email software for that capability. It's all done directly from Workbooks. But if I show you what this quote looks like, we can actually create a number of different quotation layouts for different quotation situations. You could have, of course, just one or multiple. So let's just see what this one looks like. This is pretty much a standard quote layout here in Workbooks. So there we are. That's what the actual PDF document looks like with your details, top left corner, your logo, obviously the transaction description, client's details, and then your detailed items there together with local tax details. So that's generating a quote, and you could email it directly from the workbook system, attaching the quote automatically to it. So this is a standard Workbooks email template. We support HTML for a nice looking, professional looking email, and you just send that off as per normal. You can also CC and BCC other recipients as well. So that's a quick way of generating a quote. The other way of doing quotes is from the opportunity screen. So if in your company you want to track more information about your sales inquiries, your projects, if the products and services that you supply are high in value, you've got long sales cycles, you want to track lots of information about a sales opportunity, this is going to work well for you. So here are 3 existing opportunities here. I could create a new opportunity. Let's create a 4th one here very quickly. We give it a name, whatever it might be. And we give it a date, obviously when we're expecting the order. And we now save that opportunity, and we can now add items to it in the same way as we did with the quote. Here we go. Let's add in that. Let's add in something else. And so on. And again, we can create our quote directly from here if you wish. So just another slightly different way of getting to a quote. And of course, one opportunity could be compiled from any number of different quotes. So this opportunity could have many quotes. That's what that transactions tab is all about there. I just close this down without saving. So if I go to an existing opportunity here and I click on this transactions tab, so this is one I did earlier, here we are, we can see 7 transactions. These could have been 7 quotes, 7 orders against this particular opportunity. Briefly, I'll give you a little mention about how we can customize the look and feel of those quotes. What you saw was a fairly basic layout, but you can easily customize it with your own, of course, your own contact details and company logos. That's all done in the configuration section here if you're an administrator in Workbooks. And this is where you can change any aspect of Workbooks here. Again, we cover this in some of our other weekly presentations, but down the bottom on the left-hand side here are my PDF templates. If you want to change your company logo, for example, on your transactions, I could go into default images here. Here's the existing one. Choose a file. Let's select some flowery theme. Save and close that. Just uploading that file now. And there we are, done. If I now go back to a previous quote, let's go to my recent items here from my start button. Let's go to this opportunity here, transactions, go to my quote here and generate my quote. There we are, there's the quote with the flowery chrysanthemum. So that's how you can customize the quotes there. If you want to see all of your quotes, you can again do that in a number of different places. From the report writer, from this finance section here, you can see customer transactions. From the sales section, you can see all of your outstanding quotes as well. Click on that all quotes button there. There's all of the quotes I've done. You can print out this information. You can export it as well, depending on your security clearance. So that's a quick run through quotes, creating quotes, customizing quotes, finding quotes, reporting on them. Great feature of workbooks. As I say, not many CRM applications have that. They either can't do it or they rely on some third-party application. As I normally do on our Friday sessions, I just cover briefly pricing. So there's an annual subscription with workbooks. Here's the two editions, CRM edition or business edition. This is an annual fee per named user, 228 or 504 per user. There's options for Outlook integration and multi-currency, multi-company. We've also got a Sage link integration as well, so you can take quotes from workbooks and put them into Sage, but also be a realistic budget for implementation and setup. We're here on hand to offer a number of different training implementation services to make sure you get your system set up quickly. Okay, as I normally do, I open out our presentation now to any questions you've got, so please locate that question section if you've got any questions at this stage. Be more than happy to answer those. So first question from Marlon, what's the difference between save and close and complete and close? I think that's on that when I was doing the quote, and the top left corner you had those two options, save and close and complete and close. Remember, the way Workbooks works is that with these transactions you go through an initial draft stage, so that's where you can change anything about it, and it's not sort of finally committed, cast in stone against that record. So the complete and close will take it from a draft stage to a completed stage. Save and close would be used where maybe you just work on a draft quote, you're distracted, you go on to some other activity, you save and close, then you come back to it. So I guess that's how you might use that, Marlon. Next question from Carol, can you attach files to emails from Workbooks? Yes, you can. You can also set it up in the template feature as well. Next question from Anthony, does the Outlook integration work with Outlook 2016? Not yet, Anthony. It is due out pretty soon. And how does just see if I can expand out your question. Anthony, was there the second part of your question, is it incomplete? How does quoting work when? I couldn't see the rest of the query there. Maybe you could come back to me on that. Next question from Sonia, quotes are very custom, i.e. lots of calculations, no standard product list. Yes, we can do that as well. We can create calculations in the system, weights, financial leasing calculations, that would be possible as well. And it's fine to not have to work to a standard price and product list. If every product you're selling is different, no problem at all. Next question from Nick. I see you have Sage. What about Xero? Xero is another accounting application. A link is being created, Nick, for that from a third party. I believe their name is called Zapier, zapier.com. Next question from Sonia. What happens with emails from new contacts that are not in Workbooks? They are copied into Workbooks via the email address. If you don't have the email address on file, if you link in your email, the email will be visible in the Workbooks application, but then you go through a process of creating the new lead or the new contact and link the email to it. So that's the normal process where you're getting in emails that the contacts don't exist in the Workbooks application. Next question from Nick, is there integration with Thunderbird? Nick, you'd use a feature of Workbooks that's included with Workbooks. It doesn't cost extra, and it's called the email Dropbox feature. This is where we can interface with any email system, Thunderbird, Yahoo, Gmail, Apple. So as you send and receive your emails, they're being copied automatically into that client's history there. Okay, next question from Sonia. How many emails can you send per day? There is no limit on the one-by-one emails. It is possible to send out smaller email marketing campaigns. If you don't want to track the responses of the email, you just want to quickly get an email out there, then in that example, I believe you can send up to 250 emails per day. But your normal one-to-one emails, there's no real limit on that with Workbooks, as long as it's not a marketing email blast type thing, Sonia. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions coming through there. If any late ones do come in, I'll answer those separately via email after the session. So we're almost at a close now. I'd just like to thank you for your time today and your interest in Workbooks. Just a reminder, do you need that more detailed presentation discussion? We'd love to have a more one-to-one session with you. And do you want to, if you're not on a trial already, there's a free trial, no credit card required. You can try all the features of Workbooks and use us if you have any questions or queries during that trial. Don't get frustrated there if you can't work something out, if you have a question. Please come back to any of us here at Wizard Systems. So my name again is Tim Wilmot. My email address, tim@wizard-systems.com. There's our phone number. Thanks very much indeed for your time. As I say, any late questions, I'll answer those via email separately. Thanks very much indeed.